Shalom, it's Rabbi Zalmen, and I want to share with you the general outlines of how to celebrate the upcoming and imminent holiday of Shavuos, or as they call it with the modern Hebrew accent or Sephardic accent, Shavuot. It's called the holiday of the weeks because it's 7 weeks after Passover, but let's get to the beef. Shavuos, which is this year, 2021, May 17, is the actual day on the Hebrew calendar, the 6th of the Hebrew month of Sivan, the actual day of the birth of the Jewish nation, when the Jewish people, 3 million of them, stood around Mount Sinai, men, women, children, and they couldn't believe what they heard together and what they saw. They saw light of God. It says that even a maidservant saw more than on the day that the Torah was given at Mount Sinai. She saw more than a simple maidservant who was cleaning and washing and serving. No spiritually high level. Even a simple maidservant saw more God, more godly revelation than the greatest Jewish prophets later. It was a great revelation of God. And millions of Jews saw it. As a matter of fact, it says that even the Jews that were not alive then, that were going to be born later, like me and you, our souls were all hovering around the mountain, together with all the physical Jews who were alive then standing around the mountain. We were all there, and we saw everything. So if you dig deep into your conscience, you can obviously find it. It's an ingrained memory in the hardware of the Jewish neshama, the Jewish soul. My friends, you don't have to be a rabbi. You don't have to be Orthodox to have this inheritance. You have a godly soul in you if you're born from a Jewish mother. The Torah promises it. God promised it to Abraham, and you could feel it. And if you look into it, you will feel your connection to it, to the story of the mountain, the revelation of Sinai. So, number one observance of this year, May 17th, of the holiday of Shavuos. Number one observance, which is also on the first day, it's a 2-day holiday, May 17 and May 18, but the number one in priority observance is to make sure you get yourself and anybody who you love to a synagogue that reads the 10 Commandments from an actual kosher Torah. Make sure to go to a kosher synagogue and hear a kosher Torah reading. There's Chabad houses everywhere, all over the globe. You don't have to be a member there, or you don't have to be religious to join. And make sure to bring even newborn babies to be there this day, May 17th, the day the Torah was given. Make sure even young newborn babies are there. They're present in the synagogue, in the room, when the 10 Commandments are read from a kosher Torah. On the day that the Torah was given, that the 10 Commandments and the rest of the commandments were given, 613 altogether. It was all given at Sinai on that day. Even a baby who doesn't understand should be there, because the soul of the baby is one of those souls that were hovering around the mountain with us. And it's going to hear those 10 Commandments through its tiny little cute ears, and it's going to be uplifted and impacted forever. As a matter of fact, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, a great saint, a prophet, a real leader of the generation, he said that there's an actual transmission going on into every Jewish soul that's present in a synagogue on the holiday of Shavuot when the Torah is read. You're actually receiving the Torah again, anew from God. It's starting not just from the reader of the Torah. He's like a conduit, a vessel that brings God's words again into your soul. And it protects you from all the psychological tsuris problems later down the line. It gives you consciousness, awareness, identity. It reveals your godly soul. Please make sure that every single man and Jewish woman and Jewish baby and boy and girl is present during the Torah reading on the holiday of Shavuot, which this year is May 17th. Another observance is to eat dairy, because the Jewish people ate dairy because once they got the laws of kosher on the holidays, so they didn't have kosher utensils and were not allowed to eat meat and milk together. So dairy is easy to come by without cooking. Whatever the reason was, we eat dairy. That's a custom. So we eat cheesecakes and whatever you like that's dairy, salty foods, sweet foods that are dairy. It's nice. It's a great celebration. Also, we abstain from the same types of activities that we abstain on all the holidays and Shabbos, aside of carrying in the street. You're allowed to carry stuff, books, whatever it is, and aside of cooking, you're allowed to cook. So I'm going to wish you all the customary blessing of Kabbalas HaTorah b'simcha b'pnimis. You should receive the Torah on this Shavuos holiday, which this year is May 17, joyfully. You should take it in when you're listening to the Torah in synagogue. You should take it in joyfully and internally. And Mashiach should come, the righteous, true Messiah. The Jewish people should take us back to Israel. So we should actually celebrate this coming holiday, hopefully, with seeing God again and not just relying on history.